So, Sonic 3 came out quite a while ago, and it was a movie, of course. No one cares about that, of course. No one cares. Now, while I'm someone who enjoys Sonic 3, there's some people that disagree, and I've got a video here to show it. Sonic the Hedgehog 3, the movie that broke me as a father. So we're gonna watch it. It's by this guy called Matt Walsh. Now, I'm not really too sure about what he does. I think he's more a political YouTuber, but I guess he wants to watch Sonic 3 and has some opinions on it, so we're gonna watch it. So without further ado, let's not waste any more time. Let's dive right into this.
When a man becomes a father, he's called upon to make sacrifices for his family. And often these will be small sacrifices. Sometimes they'll be larger, though, more significant. And on even rarer occasion, the duties of fatherhood will require him to make the kind of sacrifice that, up to that moment, he would have thought himself incapable of making. These are the moments when a man must become a hero.
Now, as someone who's not a father, I can agree with this 100%. Why? Two-word answer. The Chow Garden. I said 3 words.
And this may take many forms. Perhaps he's rushing into a burning building to rescue his child from the fire. Perhaps he has to pull his loved one away from the path of a speeding train because they've been tied to the tracks by bandits or whatever. Or most harrowing of all, he may be compelled by his paternal obligations to go to a movie theater and watch Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
I mean, when you compare rushing into a burning building or doing all of that kind of stuff that a father would need to do to protect their kids, I don't think Sonic 3 is the least of your worries. I think Sonic 3 is probably the one you want to do every day instead of rushing to a burning building. But that's just me personally.
Now, a man in that situation would, of course, much prefer to be engulfed in flames or hit by a speeding train, but that would be the coward's way out. He endures Sonic the Hedgehog 3 for the sake of his children, whom he loves. And over Christmas break, that is precisely the situation that I found myself in. Now, for the record, I'll say I greatly enjoyed most of the time that I spent with my wife and kids these past 2 weeks. We had a lot of fun together. We played football, we played outside, we shot BB guns, we played card games and board games. I completely wrecked my whole family in Monopoly 2 nights in a row. Wasn't even close. We took the kids ice skating. I was ice skating. My wife and kids were left dumbstruck by my gracefulness and elegance on the ice. They didn't say that, but I know they were thinking it.
See, if you're doing all of that, then what's the problem with going and watching Sonic 3? I think that's like the best way to cap off your winter holiday. You can go ice skating, you can go to the arcade, you can wreck your family, as you said, and then you go and watch Sonic 3. Like, that's just a holiday's dream. In my personal opinion, though, I don't know about everyone else. Of course, people like to do other things like skydiving. People like to do other things like, I don't know, running into fires or saving their kids. Watching a movie and after doing that, arcades, skate, snowboarding. I've never been snowboarding. Never really been skating in general, stuff like that. But I would prefer to do that and then go watch Sonic 3 over, everything else.
These were all wonderful experiences, yet things took a rather distressing turn on the final Thursday of the break when my 8-year-old son and 5-year-old daughter asked me to take them to go see Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And I did. God help me. God help me. I did.
No. Wait.
Bro, it can't have been that bad. I'm waiting to see what he says, but it can't be that bad.
Now, before I offer my brief review of this thing that I hesitate to call a film, I must first acknowledge, in all fairness, I never saw Sonic the Hedgehog 1 or Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
And here's where the problem, like the video could just end right there. You never saw Sonic 1, you never saw Sonic 2. I don't know what he's gonna say about Sonic 3 because he's doing a lot of rambling about nonsense. But if you've not seen the first 2, then you're gonna kind of go into the third movie blind. It's not exactly like the video, it kind of is like the video games, but it's not exactly like the video games where you can just pick it up and then you can just play and then you can enjoy it, whatever. It's not like you can pick up Sonic 3 and you can be like, oh, okay, I haven't played Sonic 1 or 2, so who are these guys? But sure, I'm just gonna play. You need to kind of watch Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 to see the context, see how Tails met with Sonic, to see how Knuckles met with Sonic, to see the build-up, to see Project Shadow, whatever. Like, you need to see the build-up in order to understand the movie. So I'm gonna assume he doesn't understand the movie just because he didn't watch the first 2. But again, we're gonna have to wait and see since he's doing a lot of this rambling and stuff.
Maybe the other 2 movies are works of staggering artistic genius that would elevate the third installment and lend it the sort of context necessary for me to have appreciated it and enjoyed it instead of feeling like I was being waterboarded with high fructose corn syrup the whole time. But I doubt it. I mean, this is the kind of movie where Jim Carrey plays two characters. One is the evil villain, and the other is the evil villain's evil grandfather in old age makeup.
See, that's the problem. You also need to watch because you actually understand why Eggman, or at least Jim Carrey, is the way he is as he delves into insanity further and further along in the movies. You won't just understand it if you just go into the third movie, and then just watching it like that, because you're basically just watching everything blind.
And the two break into an impromptu dance routine that makes no narrative sense but lasts approximately 87 minutes.
Hey, listen, out of all the dance scenes we've had before, this is the best. Like, he doesn't need context. He just needs to come inside the movie, and then that's it. That's all you need. The second movie's dance scene, though, oh, that was just... Never want to watch that again.
It's the kind of movie where those same characters before the dance routine actually look directly into the camera and explain that they're being played by the same actor.
That's called breaking the fourth wall. It's just a sense of comedy, you know. Most movies have it, not the same way, but movies have this kind of comedy. It's not really too much of a complaint unless you're going to complain about it.
I'm not going to bother explaining the plot of this film in any detail. I wasn't tracking it that closely, to be honest. I was mostly fighting to stay awake.
So, what we've heard is, if you didn't watch the first two movies to understand any context, and you wasn't paying attention, like, I feel like this video didn't have to be made, and we're only how long? 3 minutes in, and it took you that long to just say, I didn't watch the first two, and I didn't really pay attention either. Why make the video then? You didn't watch, you didn't pay attention. It's for your kids.
I don't really care. I'm just gonna sit here like that.
Like, imagine I just do that. Like, I'm just sitting there like this. Bro, you could play any video game, and just like, I'm not really paying attention to what happens in the game. I'm just kind of playing just to play, you know? I'm fighting to stay awake. Go to sleep then. That's it, just go to sleep. What's the point?
This is the kind of movie that bores you to the point of putting you to sleep, but also annoys you at the same time. It's kind of an odd combination to be both sleepy and deeply irritated simultaneously.
Well, I mean, you have two options to solve that. Option one, close the left eye. Option two, close the right eye. And then when you wake up, 90 minutes later, the movie's finished. And then you get to go home, and then you get to, I don't know, talk more about ice skating.
As for the plot, I can only tell you that Sonic is the good hedgehog, which you may know. There's also an evil hedgehog voiced by Keanu Reeves, who, and I like Keanu Reeves, by the way, but like every other voice actor in this film and most voice actors in most children's films that have been made for the past 20 years, he has no talent as a voice actor and doesn't understand how to act with just your voice.
With Keanu, and we've seen this a lot, like, I think Keanu does well with his voice and well with the character that has been given to him. And we've seen this a lot with other characters, you know, we've seen Aladdin, the genie, voiced by Robbie Williams. We've seen Shaggy I can't remember his name, but he played him in the movies, and then he actually voices him now. It can work, and I think Keanu's part can be added into that example of, you know, voices that can work. Now, would it be better off if every animated character had just purely voice actors? Maybe, but the movies just want to do that well, and then animation would just kind of falter. There's a reason why these celebrities are here. You know, it's not just because of namesake alone, but some of them just have talent as well.
So Sonic has to stop the evil hedgehog and his evil cohorts, that's the Jim Carrey dancing duo I mentioned earlier, from blowing up the world with a big laser. And, you know, this has been the evil plan of every evil villain in every blockbuster franchise film for the past 3 decades.
I mean, how many villains have you seen use a laser to blow up the world? Let's even look at animation. The Incredibles, I don't remember him using a big laser to blow up the world. Spider-Man, I've not really seen any big lasers used to blow up the world. Mission Impossible, like, how many movies have you seen where the villain's main objective is to blow up the world? Now, obviously, when you put it like that, it's gonna sound stupid, like, oh, Sonic's just saving the world from being blown up. But even in the movie, there's actual reasons as to why Professor Robotnik wants to do that. There's reasons, there are motivations. There's even conflict between the two Eggmans. Like, it's not just black and white, as black and white as you think it is.
If you're wondering why the evil hedgehog and the two Jim Carreys want to explode the world and murder 8 billion people in a cosmic blast,
well, I mean, it's just one, but you probably wouldn't have known because you wasn't paying attention.
that they will also die in.
I mean, they wouldn't have died from it either because they're in the death egg. But of course, you wouldn't understand because you wasn't paying attention.
It's because the older Jim Carrey's granddaughter, I think, was killed, and now he wants to commit murder-suicide because life isn't worth living.
Also, why are you wording it like that though? Oh, he wants to kill 8 billion people. Like, yo, if you want to talk about the details, let's talk about the details. Let's actually talk about the fact that it's not just he wants to do it because he wants to do it. Like, there are reasons why he wants to do it, and there's reasons why Shadow would want to help him do that. But let's continue though. Let's continue.
Now, if that seems like weirdly bleak and dark for a kids movie where the characters bust out impromptu dance routines and randomly break the fourth wall and constantly speak in internet lingo from 2019, there's a lot of that, by the way. Just as one example, at one point, Jim Carrey says, "Damn you, autocorrect." If it seems weirdly bleak and dark for that kind of movie, it's because it is.
When you put it so blatantly just black and white, pure, no like details, no delving into it, it's gonna sound dark and oh wow, so scary. But when you watch the movie, it's not really like it's not like something I'm gonna be like, whoa. Like when you watch the movie, it literally fits in line with the same tone as the movie. From the very beginning, you see montages of Shadow, Maria. You're seeing Shadow's anger, Shadow's hatred for human civilization. Like, it's not just all fun and games till that one moment where he's like, I want to blow up the world again or something like that. But it's not just happy and jolly holly until that happens, of course. It's a build-up. You get to see the build-up, and over time. Now, of course, you get the dancing as well, like the internet lingo. But that's just part of the movie. It's not even like anything that's gonna hurt anything. Now, of course, you could take that out, and the movie would stay the same. But it's just there to entertain the kids. Just there to entertain the kids. I don't know if your kids entertained, but it was there to entertain the kids,
This is a movie, like so many kids' movies these days, that schizophrenically darts back and forth from being ironic to painfully self-serious to goofy to earnest and so on and so on. It doesn't try to smooth over these tonal transitions with good writing or performances. The writing is just terrible, and the performances are atrocious across the board.
What? Look, I'm not someone who's really book savvy, so I wouldn't have an idea of how good the writing is. But I mean, me personally, of course, it's my opinion. I thought the writing was okay. It was serviceable. It did its thing. Kept the movie pushing forward. The performances, though, I wouldn't say the performances were downright atrocious across the board. I would never say that because there were some good performances here. I'm not one to be like, oh, it's a kids' movie. You have to expect these. But I mean, it is still, like, when we look at it from like, let's look at it from a point of perspective where it's like black and white. It's not Steven Spielberg. It's not Leonardo DiCaprio doing his Oscar-worthy performance. It's just, it is what it is. It works. Nobody
who made the film actually cared about making a good film. And they have absolutely no respect for their audience. I mean, this movie could have been made by AI. We are at a point. If they start making movies with AI, we would not know the difference.
What?
Now, you might respond here, as many people on Twitter did after I gave a very brief review of this film in a tweet on the site a few days ago. You might respond that, well, this movie isn't for me. It's for kids. Well, first of all, tell that to the other people in the theater with us. I can tell you that my kids were by far the youngest people in attendance. There were multiple groups of adults. Just adults, no kids.
But when you adapt a video game character like Sonic the Hedgehog, what are you going to expect? Now, of course, you're going to expect the kids. And maybe I saw some kids in my cinema. That's a lie. It was just me and like someone else. But you're going to expect kids, and you're going to expect adults as well, because they're also fans of the franchise. It's not just the kids franchise. It's it's a franchise for everyone. So what do you expect?
Also, tell it to the multiple grown adults who got angry at me on Twitter for not liking the movie. The funny thing is that a lot of those same people say, well, it's not for you, it's for kids. Why are you getting so upset about it then? Why are you tearfully defending a movie that you claim is not for you either?
Probably because your takes or your criticism on the movie has nothing to really do with the movie. Like, it's just generic and not really delving into the point further. It's just a lot of rambling. And I'm not going to go and look at the Twitter because, quite personally, I do not care that much. From what I'm seeing in the video, if I'm judging that for what you said on Twitter, that's probably why. Like, it's pretty obvious to see why. And look, honestly, we could go into more on this video, and there's like 3 minutes left, but I'm just not going to do that. The links can be in the description if you want to watch it, give your own opinions and stuff like that in the comments. What I have to say to this is, yeah, the movie just isn't for you. It's not for you, and honestly, that's okay. The movie doesn't have to be for you, There's different audiences that like different things, and I guess you just don't like that. You must like commentaries on, I don't know, the geopolitical state of the world, climate change or whatever.
Can we talk about like the political and economic state of the world right now?
The movie's not for you, that's fine, but while I could sit here and be like, it's not for you, just to understand it, you know, you can always move on. You wasn't paying attention either, so I feel like I felt like this whole video was kind of pointless. For you and me, we could have saved our time, not posting anything about it. You didn't understand it, you wasn't paying attention. We can all move on. But that's the end of this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, or at least my opinions on what I watched of this video. It was all just a bunch of like nonsense speaking. For one, he didn't really talk about the movie as much as I thought he would. He just started talking about like context behind what he went into this movie, or at least what he was doing before he went into this movie. And then he spoke about the movie, and it was really kind of just a lot of waffle. But that's his opinions. I'll leave him at that. I'm not going to say his opinions are wrong or right, because he can feel however he wants to feel. But his opinions are wrong. I get to say that. His opinions are wrong. But leave a like and leave a comment in the description what you think. And yeah, until next time, take care.